Yo, how we doing? So today I am going to be doing my rep max test. A little bit earlier than usual. So, a little can of energy juice. I've still got some of these left over from whenever I reviewed them. I'm not a huge fan. I might try a different flavour though. It just seems like caffeine to me. But regardless of that, we have got attempt to 1 rep max on the overhead press, deadlift rep max with 200 kilos, high bar squat rep max with 160, and then a rep max with 100 kilos. So let's see how it goes. So here we are. This is me doing the overhead press. My goal for this has been for a long time to get 100 kilos, and I've always kind of been stuck around the 80-85 range. And yeah, today goes well. Well, I say today. This is now like weeks on from when I recorded this videos. I was on holiday in Centre Parks, and then the week after that I was doing some DIY in a garage gym. So yeah, it was a good day though, and I think we'll see here. So that was 70. This is 80. Just flew up. Yeah, I was feeling strong, and then absolutely smashed the PB on this. I think it's 80, and then I go 85. Yep, 85. And it flies up as well, which I believe is a joint personal best. And then I decided to, from the 85, I was like, I could go for a small PB and go for 87.5. But the way that I was feeling, I was like, nah, let's just really go for a big jump. And not a big jump, but I mean, overhead press, like, 5 kilos is a big jump. Like 2.5 is a decent jump, and 1.25 is, yeah, is more, you side's more where most people end up going. So I went from, 85 here, straight on to 90. And I thought, if I get 1 here, I'm going to be buzzing. But I did better than get 1. I think I went ahead and got 4. Was it 4? Maybe 3. On the overhead press, which is massive. Yeah, like, it means that I'm so close to being able to do 100 kilos for a strict press. Which, yeah, it's one of those big goals that I've been working towards for a long time. It's something that, like ever since I got into lifting, I've always thought how cool would it be to overhead press 100 kilos. Pretty much means you could overhead press. I know it's a different object, like the human body, but I could overhead press a person. Yeah, like a decent sized human. So yeah, I think I'm just getting set up here. When it comes to the overhead press, I think the thing that limits a lot of people, like a lot of people tend to do seated dumbbell press, because you can handle more weight on a seated dumbbell press for a couple of reasons. One, the amount of people that cut their range of motion, so that they just do the little half presses between their ear and the top. And also you don't have the stability requirements of the upper back and the core on an overhead press seated, which is an advantage because you can sort of put all the weight and all the load onto the muscle that you want to grow, which is potentially shoulders. But if you just do seated dumbbell press, then you won't be strong in the functional, and I say that quotation mark because, what the fuck does functional mean? You won't be as strong in a functional, quotation mark, movement such as actually pressing something standing overhead. There's just something badass about the standing strict press. So yeah, here comes the 90. As usual, I'm sure we've all been there. You got to try and find the exact track that is going to go well with trying to attain a PB. So yeah, here we go. Look at that, just flew up. 1, 2. Now the hardest part of the overhead press for me is getting from the bottom to above my forehead. I actually cramped in my quad here just because I was bracing so hard through my legs. And
And I was a little bit concerned that it was going to fuck me up for going on to squats, but it managed okay. So this is moving in to deadlifts. So I recorded my over warm-up, which I think here I do like a single with 200, and then I do a single with 210. I quite like doing that with deadlift, because deadlift is, for me, of course, every lift, right, comes down to strength. Like, can your muscles lift or can they not? But for me, there's a mental component as well, right? If you don't feel like mentally you're going to get a weight, you're going to defeat yourself before you start. And the deadlift is very much a mental lift for me, because the hardest part of the lift is where you start. Again, for me. So some people, the hardest part can be the lockout. But for me, it's getting that weight off the floor. So if I don't have the intensity and I don't have myself amped up enough, and I go to lift off the floor a little bit, like without that sort of, that drive, like that kind of intensity, then the weight either feels a lot heavier than I'd want it to when it comes off the floor, or I just don't get it. So yeah, doing a weight that's a little bit heavier and then coming down for a rep max tends to work well for me, because it just makes me feel like really strong and good to go into that rep max. And it's almost the same for any lift, but I especially feel it on deadlifts, like sort of prime myself by going a little bit heavier and then doing the rep max, because I'm like, okay, I dominated that 210, coming down and doing 200, I'm going to absolutely smash reps on this. And then I do, right? You could say like maybe you're draining some energy by doing that one rep that's a little bit heavier, but I think the benefits outweigh the costs, for me anyway. So loading up, going for 200 kilos. I must say here, right, I'm looking at this video and the camera is in line with my calves, and I'm quite happy that I've got some calves. And that might seem, maybe it doesn't seem that odd, but like, I'm one of those people that had shit calves and no legs. And it's only taken me, I started lifting when I was 18, 34 this year. It's depressing. It took me 16 years to look at the lower half of my legs and be like, oh yeah, like, I wouldn't look at myself in the third person and be like, hey, that guy needs to work his calves. I look at them and I'm like, yeah, there's calves there. And I would leave that person alone. There would be no internal criticism about the calves. They can always be bigger, right? Can they? I don't know. Depends if you're into calves or not. So yeah, going for 200 kilos. I believe this was a personal best. If it wasn't a personal best, then it was a tied personal best. I can't even remember how many reps I did. I get the feeling it was a tied personal best on the deadlift, which was a little bit disappointing. I was hoping that I would get like one more rep than I've done before. But yeah, you can't win all the time. I'm still no doubt chasing the road, as I want to get done with 270. So yeah, it's in my head, it's in the scope. So, without further ado, see the reps I got into. Four, and 5, and 6. Starting to slow down. 7. At some point, it's quite good doing these videos, doing voiceovers. So we hit 10. I get the feeling it's 12. It's not locked. 10. That's how I went for. There you go. 10 at 200. It looked like there was more in there. I think I bitched out. But we'll take it. And then it was on to squats. Here we go. 160. I believe 8 reps, which is a big PB on the high bar squat. especially given that I've just done a PB on overhead press and done a tied personal best on the deadlift. Yeah, my squatting seems to just be on autopilot and improving every week, every month. I feel like I've just found my position for the squat. Like after a decade of squatting, like I've just found the exact spot that I need to be in. And yeah, all I need to do is just slowly, gradually put the volume up, and it just keeps coming forward. So awesome. And this is the last lift of the day, which was bench press, 100 kilos, rep out. Absolutely nailed this one as well. Like, yeah, 20 reps on 100 kilos, which it's ridiculous to be honest. For me anyway. Like, I am an advanced lifter, and yeah, to get a personal best like this is just awesome. The big thing I changed in my bench press is I went for the maximum powerlifting legal grip. I tried it numerous times in the past, always ended up getting sore shoulders, always ended up getting beat up. Recently found a guy on Instagram who basically said that, if you're getting shoulder pain with a wide grip, oftentimes it can be just because your shoulder ligaments are not conditioned for it. So I went right back to low weights and built back up. And yeah, now I'm here, 100 kilos for 20. So on a calculator, I should be benching well over 150. My personal best 140 for one. So I am buzzing to see, when I start trying to peak for 1 rep maxes, it's going to be exciting. So hope you enjoyed this. Remember to subscribe for more and like the video if you liked the video. Catch you later.